Air India A171 aircraft incident. Carrying a senior political leader, there were 5 people on board. The attempt was aborted, crashed, and caught fire.
Initial reports indicate the airstrip operates as an uncontrolled airport.
Civil Aviation Minister Rammohan Naidu, a parliamentary panel,
Down the possible causes of these aviation accidents.
Install real-time weather systems. Before we wrap up, an international flight flying from London to Bengaluru experienced a fuel control switch issue. At Mumbai Airport, 2 commercial aircrafts collided while taxiing with passengers on board. Safety must be built, maintained, and enforced. Every flight, every time.
मुख्यमंत्री अजित पवार यांच्या विमानाचा आज सकाळी अपघात झाला.
अजित पवारांच्या विमानाचा अपघात कसा झाला?
किसी को भी ये समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि महाराष्ट्र के उप मुख्यमंत्री अजित पवार का विमान अचानक क्रैश कैसे हो गया.
India is still shaken by the Air India A171 aircraft incident. Amid this, another disturbing incident involving a charter aircraft carrying a senior political leader has drawn nationwide attention, raising urgent concerns about aircraft operations in India.
So let's understand what exactly happened, what the authorities have said, where the system may have gaps, and what must change to prevent future tragedies.
According to preliminary investigation reports, a chartered Learjet 45XR was approaching a regional airstrip under low visibility conditions. There were 5 people on board, including Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, pilot in command, co-pilot, personal security officer, and flight attendant. During the approach, pilots reportedly could not establish clear visual contact with the runway. A landing attempt was aborted, followed by a second approach. During this phase, the aircraft lost stability close to the runway area, crashed, and caught fire. Investigators are closely examining the operational readiness of the airstrip, including whether the runway has adequate visual approach and guidance markers, availability of instrument-based landing assistance, whether the airfield operates with or without a full-time air traffic control setup, firefighting and emergency response readiness, overall ground infrastructure, and safety protocols.
Initial reports indicate the airstrip operates as an uncontrolled airport, meaning it does not have the same safety layers as a full commercial airport, a factor that becomes critical during poor weather conditions.
No conclusions have been drawn yet, but these aspects form a key part of the probe. Civil Aviation Minister Rammohan Naidu expressed deep condolences over the loss of lives in the crash, confirmed a time-bound and transparent investigation by the AAIB, said DGCA and AAIB teams are on site examining all evidence, noted that poor visibility may have been a contributing factor based on preliminary inputs, confirmed the black box has been recovered and is being analyzed. Days after the Baramati crash, a parliamentary panel raised concerns about safety standards in India's charter aviation sector. The panel flagged concerns over major safety gaps, especially in non-scheduled and charter aviation, weaker oversight and uneven safety compliance in private operations, maintenance standards and documentation practices, need for tighter DGCA monitoring, including stricter audits and surprise checks, gaps in decision-making and operational support during critical conditions, DGCA staffing shortages affecting safety surveillance, ATC staffing constraints, and fatigue-related risks.
Now let's break down the possible causes of these aviation accidents. There is rarely a single cause for an aviation accident. Usually several problems come together. Here are the most likely contributing factors.
Weather and lack of landing support. Bad weather, especially fog or low visibility, makes the landing the most dangerous phase of flight. At major airports, pilots rely on instrument landing systems, runway lights, and glide path indicators to land safely even when they cannot see the runway clearly. But at smaller airstrips where such systems are missing or limited, pilots are forced to attempt visual landings. In poor visibility, this significantly increases the risk of error or loss of control. Limited air traffic control at smaller airports. Many smaller airports operate without full-time, fully equipped air traffic control services. This means pilots may not receive precise approach guidance, professional weather updates, or continuous monitoring during landing. The absence of experienced controllers and dedicated meteorological support increases operational risk, especially during difficult weather conditions. Gaps in emergency preparedness. In aviation accidents, the speed of emergency response can make the difference between life and death. Airports without on-site firefighting vehicles, trained rescue teams, or proper emergency access routes are less prepared to handle crashes. Even accidents that are initially survivable can turn fatal if rescue and firefighting efforts are delayed. Human factors and operational pressure. Pilots often operate under significant pressure, particularly during charter or VIP flights with tight schedules. Repeated landing attempts in marginal weather, combined with fatigue or stress, can affect judgment and situational awareness. Even highly trained pilots are vulnerable to spatial disorientation and decision fatigue in such conditions, which investigators carefully examine. Possible technical or maintenance issues. Investigators also consider whether technical faults or maintenance-related problems played a role in an accident. Sudden control issues, system failures, or maintenance lapses can contribute to loss of control, especially during critical phases like landing. These possibilities are assessed through aircraft maintenance records and flight data analysis.
Now let us take a look at some concrete steps to avoid future mishaps.
Upgrade small airstrips. Equip smaller airstrips with runway lights, instrument landing systems, and modern navigation aids. Safe landings in night or low visibility must not depend on inadequate infrastructure. Strengthen ATC presence. Deploy full-time, certified air traffic controllers at all operational airfields. Improve emergency response. Station trained rescue teams, fire tenders, and rapid response units at every airstrip. Faster emergency action can mean the difference between life and death. Install real-time weather systems. Set up reliable, localized weather monitoring and reporting systems. Pilots must receive accurate, real-time updates before takeoff and landing. Tighten charter oversight. Increase inspections and enforce stricter audits for non-scheduled charter operators. Maintenance standards and crew training must match commercial aviation benchmarks. Boost regulatory capacity. Mandate regular safety drills. Enforce transparent accountability. Before we wrap up, let's take a look at some recent incidents that highlight ongoing risks in aviation. On February 1, 2026, an international flight flying from London to Bengaluru experienced a fuel control switch issue. The DGCA confirmed that the problem was caused by incorrect handling, not a mechanical fault. On February 3, 2026, at Mumbai Airport, two commercial aircrafts collided while taxiing with passengers on board. Thankfully, no one was injured. Aviation is a lifeline for millions. People rely on it for travel, business, or family visits. Every passenger boards a plane trusting that the aircraft and its systems will keep them safe. Even a minor fault, a missed inspection, weak emergency readiness, or poor weather info can cost lives. Safety must be built, maintained, and enforced. Every flight, every time.
If you found this video informative, don't forget to hype, like, share, and subscribe.